And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net, should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about. Trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today we're currently featuring over 3,000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. And you'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics and current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our newer Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, number 5, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in the selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our NoSWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. Okay, Whiskey 8, Lima Lima Whiskey, is that correct?
Okay, Whiskey 8, Lima Lima Whiskey, is that correct? Roger, Jim.
All right, we're beginning to play 20 questions here. This is the band today is not very good. What's the name there?
The band today is not very good. What's the name there? Jim.
Copy that as Tim Tango India Mike. Is that a Roger?
Copy that as Tim Tango India Mike. Is that a Roger? Yeah, that's a Roger, Jim. We're located in Reed City, Michigan. I believe that would be due north of your shack, due north in the state of Michigan. Over.
Roger, Tim, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Tim, and what radio are you running today, sir? Yeah, Jim, this is an SDR radio, and it has a 10-band graphic equalizer. I don't know if you're familiar with the Apache Lab NAND radio, but this has a fully adjustable 10-band graphic equalizer. Each band can be selected to whatever frequency you would like to use. Your copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, is this a smaller radio? Is this a major big radio? Just curious because those smaller radios. We like I don't know, what is your output power?
What is your output power? This is the model 8000 Delta Lima Echo 8000 DLE. It's rated to 200 watt output, and right now we're doing about 190 watts. It's a big radio size. The Apache Lab has a line of SDR radios that uses HPSDR software to control all that stuff. So we're using an offshoot called Session. Tango Hotel Echo Tango India Sierra. And so it's all done on the computer handles all the processing on the audio here. Do you copy that?
Yes, sir. I only have about 2 dB above the Kentucky SDR noise level. Only a couple of dB over that. Like I say, today is not a good day for the band. Apparently, I don't have any other copies, but I do have Hocus Pocus SDR receiver that maybe I can get to something in the Michigan area. Let me just see about that.
Oh yeah, Jim, I'm right here. Hey, I've got a rotatable dipole. I just know you directed it to go broadside Kentucky. I hope you have a better copy. Go ahead, Jim.
Yes, there's still about 2 dB over the Kentucky SDR noise level. And that's the only place I really have a copy. Your signal is good. It's just not, it's just not, I guess, a good day for propagation. Doesn't seem to be anyway. But your EQ sounds pretty good. I wish I had a better copy so I could really hear it better. It takes maybe 3 or 4 dB above the noise level to really be able to hear it. And you're right now just about 2 dB over the Kentucky SDR noise level. Roger?
The SDR noise level. Roger? I haven't engaged the equalizer at all, so maybe just get a little bit of preamp and added the equalizer in there. Maybe I could boost the signal, but I was hoping you could give me advice in that direction. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, what I would suggest, you're not running any other, you're running an outboard equalizer, is that correct?
Outboard equalizer, is that correct? Oh, well, I guess so. I really don't know how to, I'm not familiar with that part of the hobby, but I know it's all computer, it's all done in the computer world.
Okay, so I would suggest getting a little brighter signal in your treble EQ. And from what you said, I think you have a third octave equalizer on that radio. So 2700, 2.7K is the ideal push frequency, and if you have a third octave equalizer, you do not have that frequency directly in on your equalizer. But with a combination of 4kc and 2kc, we can strike a balance that will resemble somewhere in the vicinity of 2.7K, and I would suggest then plus 4 dB hotter on 4kc than where you are, and plus 2 dB hotter on 2kc from where you are. So you're pushing 4kc and 2kc. 4kc you're pushing 4 clicks push, and on 2kc you're pushing 2kc push. Roger?
Push, Roger. Good copy on what you're saying there, but what you're saying. I could describe it. Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do right this moment. I'm going to hit the button. I've just engaged the equalizer, and it's set up to something or another. But anyway, there's 10 channels on it. Each channel, the low end is set at 80, the next one's 100, the next one's 325, and then it tops out at 3200 on the last one. That's the kind of equalizer this is, and it's all software driven. Over.
I'm not real sure. I did not have a good copy on that. Let's look at your modulation index on your ALC meter. I know you don't have a direct ALC meter, but what is your current mic gain control reading? What's your current mic gain control reading?
Mic gain control reading. Okay, checking the mic gain, checking the mic, just below the 0. Just comes up to 0 dB here.
Okay, so what I want you to do is let's just try 5 clicks push on hotter on your mic gain, 5 dB hotter push on your mic gain control. Roger?
Gain control. Roger? Okay, mic gain is just by 5 dB. 5 dB. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and identify this is with the with KC9 Victor kilowatt Victor. Go ahead, Jim.
Yes, sir. Well, if you've got a pretty good copy on me, let's just do our normal setup. Starts with being sure that you're in that transmit wide bandwidth TVW for 100 to 2900. Transmit bandwidth 100 to 2900 is ideal. That gives you the capability of that transmitter reaching all that it can do, and then just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So if you're familiar with that, 100 to 2900 is the ideal TVW. If you're not familiar with that, just go ahead and make a note that you will check that out to be sure you're in that wide transmit bandwidth. Roger?
Wide transmit bandwidth. Roger? Yeah, roger, roger. Yeah, that's where we're set right now, Jim. We are set at 100, 2900. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Wow, your signal came up that time. I had, you were about 6 dB over the Kentucky SDR noise level, so I really had a good copy on that. All right, so then move to your compressor, and we want to be plus, well, 3 on your compressor processor, right, Roger?
Compressor processor, right, Roger? Okay, that there is plus 3 dB. And yeah, there was a burst of propagation there on both ways, Jim. You came up really big too, but it seems to be quite a bit of QSP. So anyway, that's 3 dB boost. Go ahead.
Roger, I have you 7 dB over the Kentucky SDR noise level, so things are really coming up there. All right, then go ahead and go to your ALC. with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it, just say it like you would say any other word, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first. Roger?
Whichever comes first. Roger? Okay, audio. Okay, I'm gonna ask a question here, Jim. And that is coming up on the ALC meter to the 0 decibel mark. Coming up to 0. Copy?
Yes, sir. Do you have a red line on your ALC meter? We don't want to go over the red line on your ALC. We want to go to 75% of that meter reading. You know, we want to be to the right side of middle, but we want to stay under the red line. Roger, Roger? The red line. Roger, Roger?
Okay, we're looking to be under the red line. See, I'm going right to the red line, so I need to back something off. Am I going to back off the mic gain there?
That sounds pretty good right there. This is pretty slippery weather. Today's a pretty slippery day. You sound pretty good where you are. I'm afraid if you back down your audio much, I wouldn't be able to copy you, Roger.
Okay, copy that. It's punching through now is what you're saying. Okay. Well, good. That's good. Hey, I hear someone else calling you. And if you think we're done here, we can go ahead and get you on with the other station. But if there's something more we need to do, just let me know, Jim.
Okay, did you crank in that EQ push sequence that I mentioned earlier?
The sequence that I mentioned earlier? Okay, now you signal is dropped. You were asking something about pushing something, but I didn't quite copy. Go ahead.
Roger, I had mentioned earlier about adding some top-end treble EQ, some additional treble EQ, and since you don't have I'm assuming that you don't have an adjustable EQ frequency. You can't give me a 2.7. Is that a Roger?
Give me a 2.7. Is that a Roger? Yeah, you know, I think I probably could, but I don't know what you're referring to actually, Jim. 2.7, this equalizer goes up to 3.2, over.
Yes, sir. Are they adjustable? Can you change those frequencies of those equalizers?
Frequencies of those equalizers? Different bands on this equalizer to whatever frequency level you would like.
Okay, so what is the frequency above 2 kilohertz? Can you get that frequency above, like if it's at a 4K, can you bring that down to a 2.7K? From a 4K to a 2.7, can you adjust that?
To a 2.7, can you adjust that? Roger.
All right, well, that's the 2.7 is the ideal frequency. So if you can give me a 2.7, then we'll talk about push, Roger.
That the seventh band is set at 2.7, and that has an adjustment, Jim, of plus 15 dB down to minus 12 dB. That's quite a range there, but anyway, that's what's going on. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, sir. So let's push that to about 10, plus 10. 2.7 kilohertz plus 10, and if you have a width control, we want that at a 4. If you have a width adjustment along with that equalizer shift, if you can give me a 4, so then it would be 2.7 push frequency at plus 10 and a 4 width wide. Roger?
Width wide, Roger. Okay, I can do the 10 push, but I don't know about making wider. I don't see that function at all here, but anyway, I made those adjustments that you just requested in the 2700 range, and we can go higher or lower with any of the other ones, but anyway, did you notice any difference at all there, over?
Oh, yes, sir. You're pushing the magic frequency. 2.7 is the ideal frequency to push as far as your treble control. So I think we're in pretty good shape right now. Your intelligibility level is up somewhat from what it was. So I think you're in pretty good shape at the moment. I wish I had a better copy, but it is what it is. And if you would like to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So there you go. Roger, Roger.
So there you go. Roger, Roger. Okay, Roger on that, Jim. Hey, I really appreciate you doing this for me. You've helped me before on other radios, and always ended up with an improved signal in my audio coming in. So anyway, I really appreciate the work you're doing here, Jim, and I hope the best for you. KC9VKV 73 from W8LLW.
Roger, Roger, Tim, 73, sir. And you have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. Maybe we'll have better conditions where I can hear you much clearer. But I think between now and then, I think you're in a good situation. 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
A radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KK4 station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign. Got Kilo 4. Gosh, try one more time. Tell you what, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Path for us, Roger. Okay, this is...
Roger, I got you again on my Kentucky SDR, and it's coming and going at about maybe 3 to 4 dB over their noise levels from time to time, but it's under. But let me see if I can get your call sign one more time. I'm listening, Roger.
One more time. I'm listening, Roger. Kilo 4, Tango,
Kilo 4 Tango, is that it? Is there something else after Tango?
4 Tango, is that it? Is there something else after Tango? Kilo Whiskey, Tango, Kilo Whiskey.
It's a Kilo 4 Tango, Kilo Whiskey, is that a Roger?
It's a Kilo 4 Tango, Kilo Whiskey, is that a Roger? That's a Roger.
All right, sir. And what's the name there?
All right, sir. And what's the name there?
I'm sorry you faded out there. What's the name there?
I'm sorry you faded out there. What's the name there?
Oh, the name's Andy, Alpha November Delta Yankee.
Roger, Andy, and what's location?
Roger, Andy, and what's location?
I'm in southeastern Tennessee, about 40 miles east of Chattanooga.
Roger, Andy, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Andy, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Turn that Flex 6400M.
6400 M as in Mary, is that a Roger?
6400 M as in Mary, is that a Roger?
Ah, roger that, roger that. So, let me see here. Now, you got to understand the situation here. I got a bunch of SDRs, and they're all crapping out on me. The only good one I've got is the one that I'm on, and that's my Hocus Pocus SDR receiver. And then to make Hocus Pocus work, I got to go into search mode down into Tennessee to do that, and so I'm jeopardizing losing what contact I do have on it at the moment to possibly get a better copy. I might catch you on my local antenna. Come back and tell me the best thing you like about your radio, Roger.
Come back and tell me the best thing you like about your radio, Roger.
Well, all kinds of stuff that, some of the radios don't do. It's for some people and it's not for some people. Computer operated radio, I didn't think I'd ever have one that way, but once I tried Flex, I not looked back. They're good radios. People out there that says they are, and there's people that says they're not. So it's just whatever you like.
Yes, sir. From time to time, you were 4 dB over the Kentucky SDR noise level, so I did have somewhat copy on you, and then it faded down a little bit. So, it's one of those days that just has lousy propagation. Not good at all. I'm sitting here looking at my normal hot SDR up in Pennsylvania, and it's just not moving at all. It's like somebody cut the antenna off that SDR radio up there. Roger, Roger.
Antenna off that SDR radio up there. Roger, Roger.
Have you got the one down in Monica, Georgia?
I
do, but I'm not catching anything right now. Are you catching a pretty good signal off of that?
Catching anything right now? Are you catching a pretty good signal off of that?
I don't have it pulled up. I just didn't know if you had the one in Delaware or not.
No, I have one down there, but it's not that one, I believe. It's not the one in the school. Is that the one you're talking about?
If it's not the one in the school, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, Roger.
No, it's not that one. I'm not sure which one it is. I have those also in my Hocus Pocus SDR receiver, but it's labeled by state as opposed to location, pretty much. It'd be like Georgia 1, 2, 3, something like that. Probably should use the names. Would help in further clarifying the situation, Roger.
Further clarifying the situation, Roger.
Montague's Lumpkin County Schools, I think what it is.
Yeah, I've got to do a little bit more homework on my my Hocus Pocus SDR setup and make it a little more friendly, but I need more cooperation with my other SDRs to take the pressure off the hocus pocus. It's a backup that's supposed to give me the capability of hitting other areas that I can tune around with, but it's the only one that seems to be working right now. So I don't have any strain relief. Roger, Roger.
Right now, so I don't have any strain relief. Roger, Roger.
I heard that. Well, I think I pretty well get this thing set up right anyway, but I was just wanting to maybe listen to it on the recording. I'd say you're probably having some problems hearing me anyway. I'm only running 100 watts. I don't ever get an amp up here on 40.
You have an amp and you're not running it? Is that a Roger?
You have an amp and you're not running it? Is that a Roger?
Yeah, I've got a AL82 sitting here on the desk, but I run it on 80 meters. I don't like to reach all that, so I run 100 on 40 meters or run my AL82 on 80 meters.
Roger, Roger. I understand. It's a pain when you go from one band to the other. I feel the same way. I really stuck on 40, and it's just everything set up for 40. All my SDRs are for this frequency, and the antenna is cut specifically for 7188. So going to another. Of course, I do have a 80, and I do have other antennas for other bands, but I just usually stay on 7188. Well, anyway, Andy, I think from what I can tell, bud, I think you're in good shape. You sound good when I can hear you, and that's the important thing, Roger.
You sound good when I can hear you, and that's the important thing, Roger.
Okay, yeah, that's all I was wanting. Maybe to catch the recording on YouTube. I don't know, maybe jump in the noise a little bit every now and then. I'll check it out tomorrow and see what I can hear.
Roger, Roger. I think your audio curve is articulated enough that it cuts enough to be heard even in dire bad situations, and that's if there ever was one today, that is the situation, and you're cutting through. If if at all possible, your signal is being understood, and that's the most important thing. So let me say 73 to you there, Andy. And you have a great afternoon. And like I say, if you want to hear that audio when we can hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded tomorrow. And there's a chevron on the right side of my screen there that shows me and you what I'm listening to when I'm listening to it, so you'll be able to incorporate that into trying to discern what's going on with your audio. Roger?
Trying to discern what's going on with your audio. Roger?
All right, I appreciate it. KK4TKW, clear.
Roger, Roger, Andy. I wish it could have been of more help, but like I say, today is just not a good day for propagation. So 73, and have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And maybe next Friday would be a better day if you could check in. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
And check 1 2 3 4 5 PASDR. Check 1 2. New York SDR. Check 1 2 3.
North Carolina SDR.
Check 1 2 3.
North Carolina SDR, check 1, 2, 3.
Well, I got something coming back. And North Carolina is open at the moment. If you happen to be in that area, give me a shout. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog.net.
The Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog.net.
Is that November 8th something?
Is that November 8th something?
India, Juliet, Golf, M-A-I-A-A. Name is Bill, Bravo, India, Lima, Lima. Outside of Cleveland, Ohio. Georgia 5-9. I've got a great city on you. Back to you, M-A-I-A-A.
Roger, station in Ohio. I did not catch a lot of that. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog.net. My name is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike, and we're all about setting up transmitters. And if you would like, come back one more time with your call sign. Let me see if I can get it, Roger.
Come back one more time with your call sign. Let me see if I can get it, Roger.
All right, Jim, we'll give it another try. The call is November 8th, India, Japan, Germany. Name is Bill, Bravo, India, Lima, Lima. Outside of Cleveland, Ohio. I'm about 25 miles east of Cleveland, Ohio. I will send back to you to see if we have any propagation reception.
Oh, I found you. I found you on my PASDR. I didn't think it was working. I couldn't get anything back to myself, but you're, oh, I see myself now on it. Well, I think somebody put the antenna back on, Bill. Try your call sign one more time slowly.
Try your call sign one more time slowly.
All right, Jim. It's November 8th, India, Japan, Germany. November 8th, IJG. Back to you, Jim.
Oh, I got you. You're about 15 to 20 over on Milford at the moment. Gosh, I don't know. I'm really surprised that Milford's coming in so clear now. And you're in Ohio. And the name is Bill. Is that a Roger?
And the name is Bill. Is that a Roger?
QSL, Jim. Bravo, India, Lima, Lima here. You're 5-9, solid copy. I do need your call. But I've been previously on here a few months ago and thought I would just check in again. Back to you, M8IJG.
Roger, Roger, Bill. Handle here is Jim, Juliet, Indy, Mike, and the call sign is Kilo, Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. This is the Qso-Vlog.net, Roger.
This is the Qso-Vlog.net, Roger.
QSL, Jim. You're doing well. Thought I'd check in. We're only running 100 watts. An ICOM 7300, home-built inverted V up about 30 feet, and I'm using a AirPlay SDR as my receiver for the 7300. So I can get a SDR type of display presented to me. So back to you, Jim. KC9VKV and 8IJG.
Roger, Roger, Bill. That time your signal was 10 dB over the noise level of the Milford PA SDR, so it was a very good signal. Your EQ is fairly sharp on the top end, not much in the bottom end. You could broaden that bottom out just a little bit if you wanted to. Like right now, it's really up in the top end. But you know, if you, I'm assuming that that's what you're looking for, is that real sharp top end, Roger.
Is that real sharp top end, Roger?
Yeah, I'm just starting to play around with some EQ, and I brought up the lower frequencies a little bit, so I don't know if that helped or not.
It's helping some. Tell you what, let's see here. If you would like, we can run through the setup for that 7300. First thing is to be sure you're in that wide transmit bandwidth, the 100 to 2900 TBW. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not, but it allows your transmitter to function at its maximum capability. You know, 100 to 2900. You have three selections on that 7300, and one of those is the 100 to 2900 selection. Roger.
The 100 to 2900 selection. Roger.
I QSL'd that, Jim. I have already. I'm in the wide mode. I'm also using a W2IHY into the radio. So I'm doing a little pre-EQing before it goes into the radio.
Okay, so with any outboard equipment, I ask the question, what is your internal mic level control? We want that internal mic level control to be in a nice position. We don't want to force that level down because of too hot a signal coming in from the outboard equipment. So your internal mic level control should be in the vicinity of a 4 or a 5, a nominal 4 or 5 in that vicinity. Roger, Roger.
4 or 5 in that vicinity. Roger, Roger.
Okay, I copy you. And I'll have to look at the menu right now, or we'll have to go back to the menu and take a look to see what it's set at. But as I said, I am running some outboard equipment, and but I am running a wide bandwidth.
Roger, sounds like you might be cutting off at about 300 cycles on the bottom side. So disregarding the possible distortion, see what happens is if your outboard gear has a hotter output than is nominal, then you could overload the mic, your internal mic preamp. And that's why I say if you adjust your internal mic volume control to a 4 or 5 and then turn down or whatever you need to do on your outboard equipment, then you would be operating in a less distortion possible mode. Roger?
Less distortion possible mode. Roger.
I mean, this would mean like if you were at a 1 on your internal mic audio control, then you could be pushing your too hard audio into your audio. So we want to get that internal mic level control up there around a 4 or 5 to be sure that you're not pushing too hard into your preamp. Roger?
Not pushing too hard into your preamp. Roger.
I missed that, Jim. Again?
Okay, I'm just saying, you know, it's a good practice to keep your mic level, your internal mic level, at a nominal 4 or a 5, and back off the external stuff to make it work well and stay out of distortion. You know, by running your mic level, your internal mic level control at a nominal situation, and then adjusting the incoming to a more practical level to match, you know, what the radio is looking for. So you would set your internal mic level control, say at a 4 or 5, and then set your, you know, do your normal ALC setup, like, you know, as you watch your ALC meter when you say the word audio, adjust your external stuff until your ALC meter is running 2/3 on that 7300. So it would be mic level at 4, internal mic level at a 4. And as you watch your ALC meter and say the word audio and adjust your outward stuff to where you have 2/3 on your ALC meter.
To where you have 2/3 on your ALC meter.
All right, Jim. With where the radio's placed right now, I can't see it correctly, so I'm going to have to do some repositioning. I can't really tell where the where the ALC is going at the moment, so I'll have to move a little. Well, let me just. No, I can't do both at the same time, so I'll have to check that out. I do appreciate your input. I'll do a little checking on the menus, and I do appreciate the service that you provide. Back to you, Jim.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The whole exercise is to get your volume, your incoming volume, correct. So you don't overload your preamp. See, there is an audio stage before your mic level control that you can overload if your external devices are too hot signal-wise. So when you arbitrarily set your internal mic level control at a 4 or a 5, then as it forces you to keep your external devices at the correct level as you look at your ALC meter and use the setup audio terminology to get 2/3 on your ALC meter. It's something like that. Anyway, I hope you understand what I'm saying there.
Something like that. Anyway, I hope you understand what I'm saying there.
I do understand what you're saying, Jim, and I'll have to look into it a little bit more. So, alrighty, I'll let you go. I do appreciate your input and the service that you provide, and I will allow you to go on and make some additional contact. So I will say 73. Thank you again. And we'll look through the menus a little bit closer, a couple of the mic level settings. I know the ICOM does do a preamp internally as well, so I am aware of that. So KC9VKV, M8IJG, 73, Jim, and thank you for your advice.
Roger, Bill. 73 there, sir, and we are recording all the time, so if you want to check your radio out, it really sounds good. I just want to be sure that you're well below distortion on your input level, but if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73 there, Bill, and have a great afternoon. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, listening on the local antenna. That's Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, listening. And now listening specifically in the Kentucky SDR mode, second opinion of signals, as it were, up around, I think this SDR is up around Cincinnati, on the Kentucky side, up around Cincinnati. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Well, we've been around the horn a couple of times and no copy, so I think we're going to shut her down and go fishing. We've enjoyed it, and I hope you have also. And if you've participated and want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So with all of that being said, we're going to jump out of here and return this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV Clear.